brought my Gemara. Put down my. Yeah. No, so like a couple before that, I woke up. I put on my tzitzis. I said Zionist on it. That was. But today in the morning, I wake up and I can't read a thing. It's like unbelievable. Wow, must be tired. So I'm like doing this. I'm doing this. Finally, like literally 40 minutes later, I go. I said I have to take my lenses out and wash them. So I take out my right lens, but it's not there. So I realized I put in my right lens into my left eye, and I walked out, leaving my. So the kids are I only had one lens, but in the wrong eye, so I was completely blind, basically. It's a new level of. All right, it's all the 8-minute daf fault. We're holding daf kuf yud aleph. We're good. We have strong thing.
Yeah.
It's still in the beginning. It's a little fuzzy. All right, says the Gemara. We're holding all the way in the top daf kuf yud aleph. So Abaye sent Rav Safra to Yisrael to find out what's going on with the liver. So yesterday we learned he asked the wrong question. He thought that Abaye meant could you eat liver straight out? Could you put it in a pot and cook it and eat it? And they told him in Yisrael, of course he could. So he comes back. He says, of course he could. He says, I knew that you could eat liver. That was my kasha. My kasha was, could you cook liver with something else? Does it ruin? Does the blood come out? Sends him back again.
It's not a short trip.
I don't know that he sent him. He was going anyways to see the G'daylim. He's doing a G'daylim trip. He said, once you're there, find out what the story is. Ki hodar solek. So that's the word, ki hodar. This is trip number 2. Mendy, I can't do this when you're all the way over there. And Hill's okay. It's one of those days. I don't know if I'm seeing things. I don't know. All right, ki hodar solek ashkechel Reb Zreika. So okay, he bumps into Reb Zreika. Oh malay. Hainami loiti barloch. You asked me a question, great. And this second question they asked me is also not a shaylo. That I know, because I myself, Reb Zreika himself, V'yanai b'rei Reb Ami, Iklan lebei Yehuda b'rei Reb Shimon Pazi. We went to Yehuda b'rei Reb Shimon Pazi's house. Ukarivilom kanye b'koifei v'achalno. I have an amazing picture of this. What's a kanye? It's a kana, a trachea with everything on it. Here, it's the picture. I don't know if you guys were there, but if you see, this is the kanya, with everything on it. You have the liver, the lung, everything's hanging over here.
Fully loaded.
Yes. And they dunked it in a pot, they boiled it up, and they served it to them. So what do you see? That the blood of the liver is not a big deal. It doesn't ruin other meats. Here we have a case of other meats. We have a liver right over here. We have geschmacke lung. Ooh, we have a guest. And the kids are everything is kosher v'yosher.
They don't do it in our days.
I hope not. Maskevlo Rav Ashi v'temer Rabbi Shmuel mizrukinyo v'dilma pikana chutz l'gdei rahava. Maybe where this guy's mouth is, that's where the kana was. In other words, outside of the pot, and somehow, somewhere, I'm not a scientist, all the blood from the liver could basically drain out of this pipe, out of this kana guy. So everything will gather, boil upwards. I'm not exactly sure how it happened. You know, maybe it's on the side. But there's a way to get the blood out. Inami, there's another way to do it. Not by removing the blood, but by locking in the blood into the liver. How do you lock blood into the liver and not let the blood come out and damage the other meats that are on this kana over here? How do you do that? Inami michlot have a cholad mikar. You could sear it in, right? Like we discussed, like when you make a steak. Somebody taught me, I don't know if it's true, but he said you take a steak, you put it on the grill, and you let it sear for like a half a minute, then you flip it over, and then you start cooking it. But basically you lock all the juices, so you could sear this liver. You stick it in.
Pores get cooked up.
Yeah, pores, whatever it is. Kihod, I don't know how. Kihod Ravuna choltele b'chala. Ravuna would sear it in vinegar. Basically, you dunk it into boiling hot water or into a vat of vinegar. Says the Gemara. Now imagine you have a pot full of vinegar and you're dunking this guy into it. Just dunk it in, cold vinegar, dunk it in. So the Gemara wants to say that the cold vinegar gets some of the blood from the liver. Liver is full of blood, so some of it is going to pour out into the vinegar. So halachically, you shouldn't be allowed to use this vinegar anymore. It's bloody vinegar. Chala asir. The vinegar should become asir with blood. Al malay, so Rav tells him Moridik. I chala asir, iunami asir. So we had the other day, when it comes to the liver, how come the liver doesn't asir itself? Blood goes out of the liver, comes back into the liver. It should be a whole mess. So we said that the liver is very busy expelling the blood. It's a one direction thing. It goes out. Because it's being boiled, it's being cooked, it goes out. When it stops going out, then it starts going back in. It can't do two things at once. It's like a male. Yeah, it can only think about it could go that way, out. Now once it stops, the second it stops going outwards, now it has the ability to absorb inwards. So he tells him, but if you stop the outwards expelling process with vinegar, it's just like it stopped cooking. So the vinegar stops the process, and at that moment that it stops going outwards, it should start flipping back and go inwards. You see, Rabbi Shor has Ashpa on your brother. See? Just for your brother was kedai to bring him in. No, it's Rabbi Shor. It's Rabbi Shor. It's the 5% that you're working on. Gevaldik. Okay. So if you're going to tell me that the blood went outwards into the vinegar, iunami asir, so then it should then the vinegar has blood, and now it should go reverse. It should go from the vinegar, the blood in the vinegar, which already came out of the liver, and blood that comes out of the liver is no longer blood of heter, and that blood that came out of the liver should go backwards into the liver. Why? Because it stopped being pilot, and the second it stops being pilot, it's boileya. Just like it spews out the blood, it expels blood, it should be able to absorb the blood.
What comes out over here?
You're very busy with the coffee. Okay, it's a chap. So I'll say it again. A liver, when it spews out its blood, when it expels the blood from it during the cooking process, it only expels and doesn't absorb. Okay. But that goes on for 10-15 minutes or 2 hours. Then it doesn't expel. It's done expelling. Then what happens? Then it starts absorbing. So in the Gemara wanted to say that some of the blood from the liver seeped out into the vinegar. So the vinegar is also vinegar. Okay? Yeah. So Rav says, okay, let's analyze this. If that's true that there's blood in the vinegar, and the vinegar causes the liver to stop expelling blood. We just said vinegar is michlat cholit. There's two ways to stop the blood from coming out of a liver. Either by dunking it in vinegar or dunking it in boiling water. If that's the case, so the vinegar stopped the blood from coming out of the liver. So memela, the liver should start absorbing blood. And it will absorb blood if there's blood in the vinegar. So now you just made the liver usher. But we said that you're allowed to eat the liver. So Mela doesn't make any sense that there's blood in the vinegar, because if there's blood in the vinegar, it will go back in.
There's no blood in the vinegar?
There's no blood in the vinegar. That's exactly what comes out.
When you put the liver in the vinegar, there's no blood comes out.
It stops. It goes.
It stops. It
right.
sears it.
That's part of the searing. It stops.
No, the Gemara's having was the first millisecond of the searing, it should be able to come out. And then it gets stuck with that blood. And the Gemara says, no, none of it comes out. Because if some of it comes out, halachically, the whole liver should be usher. The searing wouldn't work.
The problem is only if the blood comes out.
What?
The blood is only, problem only is when the blood
yes,
comes out.
because liver is a heter blood. It's one piece of blood. Rashi learns that a liver is blood. It's not like meat. It's made out of congealed blood. It's like a shtick blood. But once it comes out of the liver, so it's no more blood of heter. Now it becomes like regular blood of an animal, and if you push it back into the liver, the whole liver becomes awesome.
Why don't we say it's like an udder, where the milk absorbs into it, and that's why it's mutter.
Yeah, but once, like an udder, if the milk comes out of the udder, then you put the milk back into the udder, it's also.
You have to roast the liver, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way you can eat it. So by roasting the udder, all the milk that's in it is gone.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
But here you have milk, you have blood that came out of it, and then went back into it. That's the problem. The blood that's in it, you're right, is good. The blood that came out of it is a problem.
Went out of kachal, went back into the kachal.
No good. No, you mean into the body? Out of the world. If it came out of the world, out of the chal, out of the world, and then went back into the chal, then it's also. Yeah. Says the Gemara's story. Rav Bar Shabo, Ikla lebei Rav Nachman. So Rav Nachman has a guest. Rav Nachman, the Gadol, has a guest. Isolate Kavda Shlikov Leochal. They brought him this just a regular cooked liver. Like we said before, that Abaya had no shaila in a cooked liver. You're allowed to eat a cooked liver. He said we brought a bryce yesterday. It asers other things, but it itself doesn't become aser. Omerlei Barbe Rav Delagav Lo Yochel. Your guest over here is not eating your liver. Umanu Rav Bar Shabo. Omerlu Rav Nachman. So Rav Nachman tells them, Gamu L'Shabo. Stuff it down his throat. Force feed him. Mechutzef. I hold you're allowed to eat liver that's cooked. He doesn't want to eat it. Open up his mouth and show him who's boss. Says the Gemara. So where did Rav Shaba get this? It seems like he didn't even like it. He called him Rav Bar Shaba. Okay, but anyways, he was a Talmud, and but he got it the Kitanoi. We said the other day that Rebbe Lezer holds, and that's what Rav Nachman holds, that a liver could aser other meat that's in the pot, but it itself, like we just explained, because it's busy spewing out blood, it doesn't have the ability to absorb blood. And this is where Rav Bar Shaba got his idea from. Mitubeles, if it has spices, it has the ability to aser other pieces of meat, and in itself becomes aser. It's softer and it could absorb blood. Shluka, and therefore Shluka also is seres v'neseres. So therefore, if it's cooked, it also becomes aser itself, and that's why this poor guy didn't want to eat the liver. What? Do we? I don't know. I don't see that lacha here.
No, liver you can. You only roast it.
We roast it. I don't know. Maybe it's a chumrah. I don't know. I don't know what we. Rabbi Bar Ravuna iklo lebei Rabbi Bar Rav Nachman. Rabbi Bar Ravuna was a guest by Rabbi Bar Rav Nachman. I see the kamei tlos sabir tachi. They brought in front of him 3 saw, which is about 11 pounds worth of bread that's dipped in honey, basically like cake. What?
And oil.
Honey and oil, gishmak stuff. Omer lahu, mihavi ditu dasinu. How do you know that I'm coming? That you prepared 11 pounds of stuff. There's a lot of cake. Omer lei miadivas lamina. You think we did it for you? We have a mitzvah to prepare for Shabbos. We prepare for Shabbos. Nothing to do with you. The sugya of Gnevas Das.
No, but they answered.
They didn't have to maybe.
They were very clear, thank you. They were very clear why they did it. They're like,
Right, why they were very clear, because of Gnevas Das, to prevent it. But anyway, so they're feeding him cake, they're feeding him liver. He looks at them and says, "Boy, what's going on here? What are you guys are off your rocker? You give me liver that has a blood vessel going through it full of blood? It's one thing if you give me liver with blood, but the blood vessel that's running through the liver, that's already considered gathered blood. It has nothing to do with the liver. It's gathered blood sitting in a pipe. It's blood from the rest of the animal. It's nothing to do with the liver.
From outside.
It's outside blood. Why are you doing this? So what do you do? Cut it, make an X, and make sure that the X is on the bottom of the liver, so everything drains out through the X. That's what you do. Okay? So that's it. I guess for years, until he came over, they didn't know what they were doing. This is regarding liver that's very bloody. If you look at the tchoil, you look at the spleen, and it looks similar in color to the liver, you should know that it's not made out of the same stuff. It's made out of blood. A spleen is made out of something else. What? It's fat, and memela you could eat it. When Shmuel went to have his blood let, he had a kazas dam, so he would eat this spleen. Obviously, it's 100% mutter.
Is that the answer to the Gemara that rated with the spleen? Was rated with the spleen?
No, not an answer. It's a fact. Itmar, kavdi lovei bisro shori. Does anybody have a pen here? Pen. Shkoyach. So this is a skewer, right? So you put the meat in the skewer. In the time of the Gemara, the opening of the oven was on top. So the skewer went like this, not like this. It went like this. So now you have to put two pieces of meat one on top of the other is not a problem, right? Because even though the blood is gonna start dripping out of the meat, it's not a problem. We're not worried about that blood. Now what about a piece of liver that's very bloody on top of a piece of meat? As it roasts, the blood from the liver is going to come out and drip all over the piece of meat on the bottom. So kavdi levei bisra shari. According to this lashon, we have two lashonis here. When it comes to liver above a piece of regular meat, it's mutter. Dama mishrak sharik. The blood is just going to slip right off. However, chala a udder ilovei bisra asur. And we have milk dripping all over a piece of meat while it's roasting is a problem. Why? Because they are what's the word? Whatever. They have different
Properties.
I don't like that word anymore. That's a better word. We're not going to use that word property anymore.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency.
These guys use property whenever they can.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Agents, real estate guys.
You
Show
work
them
for
later.
property. That's what you do.
I know.
Your whole
And
life is property.
I just realized it's not a good word.
Gotta rethink the whole situation.
Yeah. Chala ilavei bisra asur. So you have a different consistency.
Cacao on top of the-
Why? My time chalav seruchim misrach. Milk likes to stick. It's a sticky product. It's gonna, as it flows out of the udder onto the piece of meat, it's not gonna flow completely off the meat. It's not gonna slip it off. It's gonna try to grab onto the meat, and it's a problem.
Blood will come off.
Blood comes off, milk doesn't.
Remember how the blood wouldn't come off the floor? Remember that?
You weren't there. You mean after we did sponja? The
4
magical.
times that it just kept on coming
The
back.
next day we walked in, they were still there.
No.
That was something else. That was that wasn't a fire. You're talking about heat. You're talking about roasting. I don't know. The Gemara, trust me, the Gemara didn't just sit in the Beis Medrash and make this stuff up. They took a shafud and they did. It's a whole. They know what they're doing. Rav Dimi ben Ardo Masni Ibcha. He says, "Fakert. Look, I did a science project and it worked opposite. If you have an udder on top of a piece of meat and the milk drips out onto the meat, is okay. My time you have this milk that's really mutter midiraisa. It's mutter midiraisa. Rabbanan said you shouldn't use it. Okay, so we're not dealing with the biggest issur here. It's milk, so worst comes to worst, you over in the Rabbanan. However, kavdi levei bisra asir dam deraisa. You have so much blood sitting in this liver, and the blood is asir midiraisa. Memela, don't do that.
And he said it's the one that's actually more sticky.
So he doesn't talk about stickiness. If you notice, he's not talking about stickiness. He doesn't fight with the scientific facts. The Mitzvah says milk is stickier than blood. It seems like, but it's not. If it really sticks.
Milk is not as.
Oh, vey.
Blood is
No,
not
it-
as sticky than milk.
No, you're talking about Tnuva milk that has 96% water.
Does not have one drop of water in it.
Whatever. Okay, sorry. Isn't it true that they? No, they didn't used to put water or something.
Look at this.
Never. That was Tara. Never. Okay. Oh, they extract the fat, he says. Very good. But at the time of the Gemara, they didn't extract the fat. And they also didn't do the Louis, whatever it's called, the pasteurization.
No,
The Louis thing.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't homogenized. Therefore it was,
Pasteurization. What?
It wasn't homogenized.
Would you stop? That's different property. Stop.
Separated.
He did it? They do what?
But separated.
Yeah, whatever. Today it's
You have the
different.
cream on top and
Hilchasa.
All the blood is the rice.
What?
All blood is the rice.
Why not? Cars.
You can
Soichel
have
dam al
a piece of
nefesh.
chicken that has a little bit of blood.
No, but that's not blood. That's not blood. That's moil. That's moil. It's different. It looks a little red, but that's
If you
different.
eat a steak, and
That's why we
blood
have
coming out of the
melicha. That's
steak.
why we have the this.
It's okay.
Cars. Yes. In meat.
we're talking about the first blood that comes out.
First, everything else is good. The blood that's inside is fine.
What?
You see it. You see it. A piece of blood of steak. Now
I don't
it's not
know,
ready. You cut into it.
What do you call it?
It's like liquid.
Condensation.
Looks pretty
Red
bloody.
condensation. What? Weiter. My Weiter guy is in the middle of a conversation, so we can just choose now.
This is important stuff.
Oh, this is
Blood and
important.
meat.
Yeah. Okay. Say the Darash Merema. Hilchasa bein kavdo bein kchala to say bisur shari. If you have liver or udder underneath the meat, it's kosher. What's the chiddush? I'm not sure. It's pashut. Obviously, it's not a chiddush. So it's just telling us if the bad guy is on the bottom, there's no way that the blood is going to go upwards. It goes downwards, gravity. So it's not a problem. Ilovei bisro the eved in l'chatchila loy. Now, bloody steamy blood?
Elias.
Nah, because the blood just goes downwards. Now Rashi says a very interesting thing. He says, the Gemara says that if the liver's on the bottom, it's okay. So what if the liver's on the side? In nowadays, you have the skewer that goes like this, right? The spit. And the liver is on the right side and the meat is on the left side. Is it okay? Says Rashi, it's not okay nowadays. Why? Because what happens is, a lot of times you lift up the skewer. That's what he says. You go like this. You check it. You go like this. You start looking. So at any given time, the liver is going to be on top for a second, and Memela it's also. That's what he says. L'chatchila. These are l'chatchilas. Ravashi ikla lebei Romi bar Abba Chamua. Ravashi went to his father-in-law's house. Chazil lebei Romi bar Abba. He saw his own brother-in-law. The call Shofit Kavdo Ilovei Bisra. He l'chatchila went and skewered. He put it on the spit. He put the piece of liver on the top. Omar Kama Yor Haimir Rabbanon. Look at this Balgaiva. Thank you. Eimar Domer Rabbanon the Eved. When did they say that you could eat it? Is only if you did it by mistake. You have the liver above the meat, so then you could eat it. He went and barbecued. He put the liver on top. He must be a Balgaiva. Not a Amoritz, he's the son of my Shver, who's a Talmud Chacham. He's a Balgaiva. If you have one of these pans to catch the fats on the bottom, Bisra levei kavdo nami oser. If you have meat, so now think about this for a second. You have a piece of meat on a skewer and you're catching the fat on the bottom. Are you allowed to eat the fat? The answer is yes. But you're catching it, you want the fat. Okay, you don't want it all over your merpeset or whatever, but you're catching the fat, you want the fat. But here's the problem. The problem is that not only does the fat come out of the meat, blood also comes out of the meat. So you have a nice usser mixture of blood and fat. The answer is no. Fat rises to the top and the blood goes on the bottom. However, says the Gemara, if you're doing it with a liver, that's usser. Why is it different than any blood of basar? Dama de bisra shachen. The blood of a meat goes down to the bottom. Dama de kavda coffee. Interesting. It has a different property, has a different consistency. The blood of a liver, and Mamela, it mixes with the different density. I like that word even better now. It has different density, so therefore it rises to the top and mixes with the fat that also has the same kind of density. They hang out in the same area in the pan.
Viscosity.
That's a great.
Properties are better in this case. Properties better. Of all the words you use, properties
Really?
are best. Yeah, of course.
What are you tithing? What are you saying?
Frankincense.
Eat it.
They have different
No,
frankincense.
it's koshering and eating at the same time. That's what we do. We roast it and then we just smash it up.
I know he does.
Has anybody ever eaten a liver of a lamb?
Yes.
Is it gross?
No, not when it's
Because
properly
we have
made.
one. Fine. I don't know. We'll try it. Okay.
Just as gross.
What?
You didn't catch it?
No.
Okay.
Salted, you have to salt it in the
No. That part is That all that is, but the roasting part not.
salted in the first 3
So I'm
days.
saying after you roast it, if it's more than 3 days, you're not allowed to cook it.
No. We already took care of that issue.
Why is it
You roasted the liver?
He did whatever had to be done to eat it. So maybe it was roasted. We're going to see in a second. I'll talk about that about our liver in a minute. What? It hangs out with the congeal with the meat it floats to the top. The shumar floats to the top of the pan, and so does the blood. They hang out in the same spot. They're not separate. You can't pull out the fat without it. Omer Rav Nachman.
If you have this boiling hot blood that's with the fat, you're not eating the fat because it doesn't.
Afterwards.
Because you separate it.
There's no blood in it.
You just like
Woman, the whole animal has blood everywhere. You saw the blood all over the meat. Once you get rid of the blood, you wash it off. You get rid of it,
So
melicha.
it's boiling hot. This is right there.
but later it congeals and you can pull off the fat. Your bird-
One minute. So you're telling me just in general, you're mechulek on the whole thing then. The piece of meat that's boiling hot and blood drips out of it and drips onto another piece of meat, also it's boiling hot blood.
That doesn't go in, but here, it's
No, but it touched it. Boiling hot meat, blood touched it. You have oil, it also, what, it touches it for a millisecond. You can't get blood, you can't get blood into that fat. It doesn't, they don't stick together. They just
doesn't
go.
go
It
inside.
goes through it and that's it.
Seems all you could cook fat.
No, you
No.
can't. Could-
I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
so.
Cooking process, properties, it's fine. Density. It's all good.
Viscosity. You missed that one. That one is a good one. Omer of Nachman. Oh, shh. Omer of Nachman. You hear?
Yeah.
No. What do you say?
Sakin sheshachar bo.
Omer Shmuel. Sakin sheshocha bo. Osur lachto ibarit. A shchita knife. And if you ever were present by a shchita of, let's say, a cow, you could see literally steam coming out of its neck. Smoke comes out.
Why?
Because it's hot.
Blood.
It's mamish hot. It's 100 degrees blood, and you're in a I don't know how many degrees. Let's say it's 90
By
something.
the sheep we didn't see any.
Because it was a hot day, and it's a little sheep. It's a
It's
shvach.
night anyways.
No, it's at night. Okay, so you take this knife that's hot from the blood. So basically, what happens when it's hot? It absorbs blood, absorbs the shuman of the fats of this animal. Also, so you now, in return, you can't go and use the shechita knife that costs $600. You can't go and cut your steak afterwards. No, it just has blias. It has blias of shuman of viscer. So now you can't go and cut other half foods because the half food will pull out this blood, pull out whatever this is. So what if it's cold? If you cut a cold thing, so some people say that doesn't have the ability to pull anything out of the knife. Some say it does, so therefore rinse it off. You see, Chaim, all you need to do is rinse it off. It doesn't penetrate into the food. So now if you take the same logic of that heat absorbs, so then you have a concept when it comes to salt. Salt is like cooking. This bowl that you use to do melicha in is full of blood, right? Because you're doing melicha, it's to take out the blood from the meat, and you're using salt. So you have two bad things, very bad combination. It's like heat and blood. Also, so you're not allowed to use that bowl for hot food, because inside the bowl, in the walls of the bowl, you have the blood that was absorbed through the heat or the properties of the salt. Salt has the halacha of boiling. The kavush and pickled harehu kimavushal. And this is what Menachem was talking about before. We had an issue, and I wasn't aware of it until we did that beautiful night, and I learned a lot of stuff that night. And what they were saying is, after everybody left, so we were packing up our meat, and I took the liver and I put it in a plastic bag. So the guy says, the Rabbi Amitai ben David said, you got to be careful. You got to make sure that I don't know that everybody agrees to this, but this is maybe at least a chumrah, or it could be true, that there's a concept called kavush. So if you put it in a bag, and basically it's sitting there and fermenting itself in the refrigerator, so you only have, 24 hours, 48 hours. Yeah, Moshe, do you have such a thing? You guys are makbid on kavush? Shalosh yamim, whatever, it's 2 days, 1 day, whatever it is. So the guy we sent it out to do nikur, he yanked it out of the bag, rinsed it off, and he says, now you clock. He took it out of the bag, rinsed it off, and he says, now your clock starts ticking again. And then eventually he did whatever he had to do. I don't know what it looks like. It's in my freezer, and we're going to have it at the Sima. But there's an issue of kavush. Kavush is to pickle, and when it sits in the bag, it's pickling itself in the bag.
So once you rinse it off,
Because it's not real pickling, so maybe it's not 100% usher. I
another
don't.
3 days if you rinse it off.
I don't think 3 days. I think he just made that up. But it's 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever. 3 days is a new one. What's something?
I know with the basar lo shar.
He's talking about something else. I think he.
No, it's salty. Just the regular
Oh yeah, he's talking about salt. Okay, fine.
Pickling is where you use chumrah.
With basar lo shar. If you wet it or rinse it off.
You gotta get rid of it.
But what?
You gotta move it.
The liver is by its what? So it's by itself. It causes a kvishet itself.
Any liquid is kosher 24 hours.
Okay.
But we say that when it's
Amar b'shem Rabbi Yochanan.
a few minutes, 80 minutes.
Liach eino yitbeteh.
Okay, so we have to look into the halacha. But they were talking about a day or 2 days, whatever. Kiyasa Rav and Rabbi Yochanan. Meliach eino kireteach. So Rava made a little bit of a mistake. He says that salting is not like boiling. V'kovish eino kimevushal. Amar Abaye Hadu Rav and Lessa. Don't listen to him. Dai pinko da havabe Rabbi Ami the Malabe Bisra. Rabbi Ami, who was a student of Rabbi Yochanan, he saw this bowl that they did a melicha in it. So there was salt and blood, v'tavre, and he broke it. He felt that you have to get rid of it, you have to break it. What is the reason he broke it? Obviously, Rabbi Yochanan does hold that, like Shmuel, that melicha is like boiling. Yasser Rav Kana, Achud Rav Achoyre Rav Yehuda Kamed Rav Huna. Yeah, it could be. I think the girsa here is he sat behind him. Kamed Rav Huna v'Yosef v'Kamar Ka'ara Shemal Babasar also Lechol Bariteach. Now, okay, that's the halacha we just had. That a bowl that has salt and blood in it, you're not allowed to eat other hot foods in it because that will pull out the blias. Utznoin shechatocha bisakin. You have a radish that you cut with a knife. So now you cut. Now this knife is a fleshik knife. You have a fleshik knife that you're cutting a radish. So the radish, because it has a sharp flavor, has sharpness to it, it's able to pull out the belia from the knife. So what does the radish turn into? Turns into fleishiks. Mutar la'achloi bekutach. You're allowed to eat it with milchiks. Kutach has sour milk in it. It's mutar. My taimo, tu pshatim. Omar Abaya, hayater bola, bahayisur bola. A radish, it absorbed kosher meat. And a bowl absorbed non-kosher blood. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Who cares? You're going to eat milchiks with fleishiks. Who cares that at the time that it took it out, it was fleishiks and it was mutter, but you're going to mix that fleishiks with milk. We have to understand the baya. Elo marava. What's the reason? What's the difference between a bowl absorbing blood and a knife that absorbs fleishiks? When it comes to a radish, you want to know if you could eat it with milchiks. All you need to do is bite into the radish and see if it tastes like fleishiks. If it doesn't taste like fleishiks, you're good. But a bowl, how are you going to be able to taste it? You can't taste it. So we're talking about a situation you couldn't taste it. What?
It's going back to nice and calm.
Yeah. It's all about nice and tam. If it doesn't give a flavor, who cares if it's fleishiks or not? It's nothing. It's just a plain radish. Let that the guy taster, the guy that's really good, a chef, a guy that understands flavors. The famous sugya that we had before. What do we learn? You shouldn't cook milk in a dish that you cooked meat. It goes to nice and tam. Bishel but truma levasha but Chullin. Vimbishel benois and tam. Vamrinon. And we said, if you have a problem, all you need to do is ask the kohen, can you taste Chullin in here? Truma in here. But who do we have to taste to see if there's a problem with basa b'chalav? Ask the guy chef. There's no guy around. So in a situation, there's no guy, so you could eat a radish, you taste the radish, but you can't taste the bowl. Itmar. Oh, and now, because we're learning Daf Yomi, it's unbelievable. We're going through all these things that you just heard. This is what we're going to be learning now. It's not that scary, but this is what it looks like. If you've seen halacha, this is what it's called, nat bar nat. It means nois and tam bar nois and tam. It's a very simple concept. It sounds scary, but simple. It just means the flavor was twice removed. How do you have a flavor that's twice removed? This is the classic example the Gemara brings. You ate fleishiks on a plate. So the meat got absorbed in the plate. Then you went and you wash your dishes, there's nothing left on the plate. So you have an empty plate. But in the plate somewhere there's meat. So that's one time removed. That's one flavor removed from the meat into a plate. Then you go and you take a boiling hot piece of fish and put it on the plate. So now the fish absorbs the flavor from the plate. So that's the second time removed. That's not bar nat. That's all it is. Now can you take that piece of fish and eat it with milk? So a lot of people want to say, because of this sugya, that that's a mistake in the Shulchan Aruch that we discussed, and I pointed out the Taz. The Gemara is talking about, is it not bar nat? Can you have the flavor, but you're allowed to eat fish with milk? It's only because maybe the fish has fleishiks in it. But if it doesn't have fleishiks in it, you could 100% eat fish with milk. Yet the Mechaber says you're not allowed to eat fish with milk. How does it fit with the sugya? But anyways, itmar dogim shalu b'ka'ara. You have fish that were hot and they went onto a plate that was fleishiks. Rav Omar also lachem b'kutach. You're not allowed to eat it with milchiks. U'shmul Omar mutar lachem b'kutach. Rav Omar also noisin tamu. U'shmul Omar mutar noisin tam bar noisin tamu. It's not bar nat. V'od Rav la b'feir shitmar. I love this. Where every time the Gemara says la b'feir shitmar, what does the Gemara say afterwards?
Story.
It's a story, and Mela, it's not 100% that you can learn from the story.
Normally stories are telling us that that's what you can learn from, usually.
Depends what the story is. Let's look at the story. You tell me if you can learn from this. The Rav Ikla lebei Rav Shimi bar Chio bar Berei Chash beinov. He had an eye ache. His eye really hurt him. Abdullah Shiyova B'tzah. So they made him some sort of ointment in a bowl. Basahachi, really nice people. Ramulei Bishula B'gava. Then they took the bowl. He didn't. They thought he was not looking, so they took it and they washed it out nicely. The bowl with the disgusting ointment from his eye, and they gave him a geshmaka dish. Here, Rav, take. Toim leitam the shoifa. He tasted the medicine in there. Omar Yov Taime Kulehai. Now this is Rav. Why would he? He doesn't stop speak. He's not a guy. Oh, by the way, it tastes like medicine. He's trying to say that this is not barnat. It went from the ointment into the bowl, and went from the bowl into my food, and I'm able to taste it. So this is a not barnat, and therefore apply what I just said to basa b'chalav also.
Yes.
If my food was a piece of fish, that should be also for you to eat with milchiks, because there's a flavor of meat in there. Okay, so the Chayr Rav holds not barnat. V'lohi. Now you understand, Hill, what I'm saying? Maybe he tasted it. Maybe it was very strong. Maybe he didn't say anything about not barnat. You're inferring from what he said. V'lohi. Shani hasam the nafesh miror tvei. You make a medicine, an ointment to get rid of a serious ailment. It's made out of these crazy spices that you could taste. But meat is not very strong. Meat is kind of sweet. So maybe you won't taste it. Zog the Gemara, what?
We still know that Rav held that.
Yeah, we'll see in a second that's what he held. Says the Gemara, Rebbe Lazar have a kohen can made the Mar Shmuel. Interesting story. You have Rebbe Lazar sitting there with Mar Shmuel. Aisul can made dogim shalom b'kara. So they brought him nat barnat. V'ka'achal b'kutach. Shmuel ate it. Yarv lei v'lo yachal. So, but Rebbe Lazar wouldn't refuse to eat nat barnat. Omar lei, so Shmuel tells him, L'rabach yave lei v'achal. I myself fed your Rebbe, Rav. Rav is the one that we said that holds you're not allowed to eat nat barnat. Says Shmuel, he's a practical joke over here. He's lying to him, kind of. He's like, oh, by the way, I was there, I saw your Rebbe eating nat barnat. So what, you're greater than your own Rebbe? Okay. Also kamei the Rav. So now Rebbe Lazar comes to Rav. Omalei, hadabei mar mishmaite. What, you took it back? I remember you telling us that it's aser. Omalei, chaslei lezare, the Abba bar Abba. Abba bar Abba means Shmuel. Chas v'shalom, l'svlei midi v'leisvirlei, that he should give me chas. It never happened, says Rashi. This story that Shmuel told you, he just fed you a bunch of lakshin. He never gave me nat barnat. I never ate nat barnat. Some people say that he did. According to Rashi, it never happened. According to other Rishonim, he fed him because he held that's the halacha. And what about the fact that a tzaddik never is nichshal he's wrong. Not barnat is mutter. La halacha, not barnat is mutter. It was just a chumrah that he did.
Rabbi Lazar is telling him that he did say it beferish then? It was beferish Yitzmar? Because
No.
he came back to Rav and he said, didn't you tell us? So he did tell him beferish? It's not
Yeah. Exactly.
The Gemara says,
Right. I know.
"Try to learn the plow."
Right.
No, we
That-
must know that Rav held that it's also. Why?
He's asking just why does the Gemara say in the beginning that it's not beferish?
No, it's not that we don't have a mama to say that it says very, but we know that. He held that.
Interesting.
Well, this might says...
It's a pretty big mimer. Yeah.
Yeah. He asked him and he said, yeah.
Zog the Gemara, Avuna Rav Chia Barashi Avi Yasvei. Rav Huna and Reb Chia Barashi was sitting. Chad b'hai gisa de ma'bar de surah. One was on one side of the bridge or the boat. V'chad b'hai gisa de ma'bar, and the other one's on the other side of the bridge. The mar isolate dogim sha'alu b'ka'ara v'achal b'kutach. One ate nat bar nat, 2 flavors removed with milchiks. He had a piece of fish that had a flavor of meat in it with milchiks. What do we do today? If you bring fruit to the table on Shabbos, or like dessert, you're supposed to make a bracha, right? Don't look at me like you don't know this, right? It's famous halachas. So you're supposed to make a bracha at least. According to Rashi, he says an interesting thing here. He says you're supposed to make a bracha achroin on it also. Okay, I don't think everybody holds like that. I think the other Rishonim are mechulag on him. At least the bracha Rishonim you're supposed to make. So this individual, one of them, it was Rav Huna, Rav Chia Barashi, we don't know which one. He ate it without a bracha at all. You're an orphan. What, you think your Rebbe did it like that? You have no das. You're orphan of brains. You don't know what you're doing. And the other one said to his friend, Yasma Ovid Rabbi Chachi. So Reb Chaim Shmulevitz says here, it doesn't mean, it could mean also not 2 sides of the bridge. Sometimes you have a person that comes from this background and a person that comes from 2 places. No, I'm just making it. He never said that. Okay. Oh, Mario Amar Leila Chavrei. Anok Shmuel really. What? Oh, yeah. We're mamish there. So each one is upset at the other one. Each one is giving the other one musar. Meanwhile, they're both doing something kind of wrong. So Anok Shmuel really. He says, I hold like Shmuel, the napar not is mutter. What's the problem? Anok Rebbe Chia severely, and I hold like Rebbe Chia. The Tony Rebbe Chia pass me there is kol mini machol, v'yayin poiter kol mini mashkim. I guess we could stop right over. It's a new sugin. It's a small daf tomorrow. So Bekitzer, he holds that hamoitzi lechem aretz. You could eat all fruit and dessert, and you make bari priyagofen. You could eat all drinks.